What's going on, guys? Doing a little review here of the Cold Steel Voyager series. Well, the Tanto version anyway. I originally was going to get the clip point. I ordered a lot of my knives through Amazon, simply because you get them for half the price of, there's other knife places to order too. You get from Nothing Fancy. He's got a lot of links on his page to them. If I remember to, later on I'll go and copy them just because they're like your corner store and stuff like that. They're still about. And Kinshaw Cutlery, sometimes they give good deals, stuff like that. Anyway, I ordered from Amazon before Christmas time, about a month before. 2-3 weeks kind of passed. I'm wondering, what's up with my knife. Give them a call. I emailed the people first, gave them a call. Anyway, I guess I was thinking as I was ordering that the knife is, this is the extra large version. They used to make an XL. This is the new version of, I think, 2011 model with the triad locking system, which is a little bit different because it's got the triad lock, which is stronger, and you can get the knife blades in pretty much any style you want. Now, I'm not a tanto fan. I like tanto blades when they're larger, but for small, I don't think they normally they don't have the belly of the bigger blades. And they slice, and they don't slice as good when they're small. They don't give you that extra curve in the slice. But the larger blades are fine. Like, I was watching, I don't know, some kind of Discovery Channel, and they put claymores and against steel armor, and all the other swords. And surprisingly to me, the katana pierced and cut through the armor better than any of the other ones. And they're known for having one of the strongest tips if you had to use for a prying situation, which you shouldn't, but a lot of people that don't use multi-tools find themselves doing. But anyway, I ordered the clip point blade, which I'm a fan of the Bowie, but some kind of BS happened and they couldn't get it out to me sooner, and I was ready for my knife. So the Tanto blade was $20 more. Amazon vexed the extra amount of the cash and sent straight from Amazon their blade, which was Tanto, which really, I figured, this is a pretty large blade. Closed, I kind of thought about this. It's such a large blade closed with the belly on it, as for instance the Rajah 2, it would stick out more and be less comfortable in the pocket. So I figured, hell, with a 5.5 inch blade, I think that's what this is. Real quick, it's been a long time since I've read it. I know it's a big blade. It's 5.5, every bit of it. But anyway, it comes with AUS 8 steel. It's Taiwan, but everything's made in Taiwan. As long as quality control is good on it, it doesn't matter. Anyway, back to the subject. When I got the blade, I was very impressed. The texture on it is very aggressive. You could literally hold the blade sideways any way, and you have a good purchase on it. And it's not too abrasive. Now, if you have a lot of crap in your pockets, or you're sitting down, in your car, and you're reaching in there, the texture did kind of scrape me right there, but it's worth it. Jimping on the back, not needed. It does make it feel better. It's got this stuff right here. My fingers can't even grip it, and I got meaty hands. Anyway, it's steel liners. really, most of the time I wouldn't think that steel liners do much, especially in like take a knife like this Endura-4. I mean, they put steel liners in there, and steel, when it's thin, it's not very strong. Maybe it helps a little bit, but I'm sure you could take that steel out and bend it like this. But in the case of this knife, it's got, I'm not sure what the thickness is of it, but you can see it through here, and it's a decent size. It's thicker than some blades, you know, thinner blades. It's about, I mean, it's not as thick as this old timer, but it's damn close. I mean, it's thick on both sides. That's gotta add strength to it, especially with a longer handle material. I'm not sure that they haven't put out videos on what these triad locks on these will handle now, but for size comparison with the Raja 2, yeah. And if you've been Cold Steel fans or you're fans of Cold Steel, there's not much difference, you know. The Raja 2 is a massive knife. Can't speak. And this feels better in the hand. It's not as thick. It doesn't protrude out of your pocket as much. Now the pivot point in the locking system is a little bit thicker, not much. I'm sure if the Raja will hold like 450 pounds or whatever it was, or 500, I have seen it done in real life. A guy at a knife show. I've seen them stab through steel ammo cans, you know, stuff like that. I'm sure this one would have every bit of, it would hold 300, no problem. Comes with 2 clips for ambidextrous. It is razor sharp. And another thing I like about this blade is, one problem with I'm not sure what the old versions came like, but this is a bead blast, and with a lot of the bead blasts I've had, like this one's got rim wool on it now, they tend to rust a little easier. But from what I've heard, I'm not an expert on knives. I've been around them a lot. You know, I know a lot of older blades, like, you know, K-bars and old timers and stuff like that. I'm getting to where I know my steels pretty well. I don't talk about nothing that I don't know about somewhat, or I don't speak about stuff. I won't ever lead you wrong. I won't give you false information unless I've been told wrong by a reputable source, not Wikipedia, like, you know, Guns and Ammo or something like that had led me wrong, or actual Cold Steel. Anyway, but Stonewash is supposed to be one of the most resilient finishes they make, besides some kind of super type of stuff they got going on now. Now, one reason why I like the Tanto, and I was kind of worried about it, this is a K-bar. For like the K-bar, the actual blade starts right here. I mean, this is a pretty massive pocket blade. This is, I guarantee, every bit, because this is every bit. God, I can't speak tonight. Every bit as big as the Buck knife. I think that I would have done wrong better than more right going with the Tanto, or going with the clip point blade. I have been using this. This isn't going to be a safe queen like the Raja 2, and the reason why I went with this blade instead of the Raja 2 is I got a whole nother video on why I don't like the thumb design. I don't trust the way from the pocket. Watch the other video. I think that I just don't like the design myself, and it's a little wide and a little too long to reach. And you know, if you come in like that, it's gonna be hard to get open if you don't get a full swing in your hands. Come back, see how my hands already kind of in there. You might lose a piece of a finger. I just don't really care for the Rajah 2 as much. I like the blade, strong as shit, and once it's open, you know, it can be used for a lot of things. But even as weapons education tell you, he's had quite a few people lose some fingers, or almost lose some fingers. Okay, now, in all honesty, I think that the large version is probably the way to go about it. I've been on a voyage. That wasn't, no pun intended, but it kind of worked out. I've been on a quest to find the largest blades, the largest, best blades I could pack before my, because I have my carrying concealed, and I'm allowed to do so. You know, I no longer have to carry small blades. But this one, when it's in your pocket, it rests about right here. You reach your hand in there, and you know, thumbs does a little harder to get, but it's still, once you pull it out, it's easy to adjust, and it's not very hard to open. Not unlike the Rajah 2, and you can flip it open. I wear large size gloves, so you know what I'm saying. I don't have the world's largest hands, but I have larger hands, and I tend to like thinner handles, like 1911s. I feel that the more my hand can get around it, the more sure grip I got, as long as it's not too thin. Like I got a Taurus PT92 Beretta clone, and with large hands, I really think it's too wide of a grip. But anyway, AUS-8 steel is a high quality steel. It holds its edge. I have been using this, and so far it's still razor sharp. I haven't used it on anything extremely tough. I've opened up every kind of little package I have, Christmas presents, everybody else's Christmas presents that need to be opened. Mostly I've been using the tip, and haven't done no heavy use. Haven't cut a lot of cardboard or anything like that. I've cut some, but it's still so far razor sharp. Now, next thing I'm going to have to do is get a new sharpening stone, because I have this old sharpening stone, old Smith's. I bought this right after I've probably had this for 15 years. I've probably sharpened at least 1,000 knives on this. My dad's friends of friends. My dad didn't have TV, and my only entertainment was shooting guns and sharpening knives. And at nighttime, I spent my nighttime sharpening knives, and didn't have any kind of guide, so I went from being able to make a razor sharp knife into a butter knife, into learning how to sharpen. And I've learned, and I even tried to sharpen machetes and chip blade knives and all kinds of crap on here. So I've concaved the core stone on here, and it is hell when I'm trying to sharpen a large size knife. If I don't just precisionally watch it perfectly, I'll scratch my blade, which I have on a few of them. And I don't really care too much about scratches, but you know, when you got a $100, $200 knife, it matters. And even with some of the stupid stuff I've done, one side's wore down on one, so you have to watch which side you're doing it. There's chips in the blades where nicks have. I used to use too much pressure when I didn't know, and took chunks out of it. I mean, like I said, I learned on this stone from a kid. I've had this stone from probably from when I was 12 to now I'm 25. It's time for a new one. Plus, it originally came with oil, and I've used water on it, which I've been told not to ever do, but it works. I still make a knife razor sharp on them, but it still works on smaller knives pretty easy. Just on the bigger blades, you really gotta watch what you're doing. You're gonna you really gotta watch your angles. So I'm probably just gonna get another one. I haven't been able to find the 8-inch ones. I was gonna go with that one because it still be a little better for the larger blades, but I'll actually stick with the oil on it. I thought about using land skis, but I don't know, Lansky seems like it's a little too easy, and everybody still has problems sharpening knives, so I don't see, maybe I'm missing something with that. I do plan on buying one in the future and testing it out, maybe, or maybe even a diamond home, but I'm going to stick with what I know and do things right next time. But if y'all have any tips on sharpening them, give them to me. Like I said, I've been sharpening them the old school way, water, for years. I'm going to put a razor sharp knife on there. But before I hit my big knives up again the next couple weeks, I'm going to buy another Smith Stone. But yeah, I hope this review helped a little bit. Also, something that some of y'all might think is kind of cool. I'm not really a fan of the iron cross design. Just not my style, but I don't know if they've done it intentionally or was chosen to do this for aggressive texture, but it has the iron cross pattern. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that well or not. The iron cross pattern for the G10 grips, and you know, it's got the clip back here. It's reversible either side for lefties or righties. Personally, I think that they should have put them up here. Maybe it would have interfered with the locking system or something. That's why they didn't do it. I don't know. Weaken the pivot. I'm not really sure, but because it does kind of go into the middle a little bit. But anyway, they should have put up here, because I think straight out the pocket, thumb accessible, it would have been even faster for the extra large version. But I have been packing it, and I wouldn't pack it, and it's fast enough deployable out of the pocket and safe enough that I'm still going to continue to carry it quite a bit. Now it's a larger knife, so if you're wearing shorts or something like that, I'll still go with a smaller one. But a 4.5 inch blade is really what I think is most people's going to be limit on a pocket blade. But if you're like us, big knife blade lovers, it's a good knife to have. Thanks for watching, guys.